famous for being one of Hollywood's most notorious.
Coming up on the news at 5, a horror film veteran may be pulling up in a cab near you.
Also, a medical drug may become legal in Florida.
And it's Halloween. Stay tuned for a thriller show. Your news at 5 starts right now.
From the highest of 7 hills in Florida's capital city, covering every corner of the Big Bend, this is the award-winning News 20 at 5 Live.
Good evening, I'm Alicia Turner.
And I'm Natalie Johnson. The trial for suspended Liberty County Sheriff Nick Finch is over. A jury deliberated for more than an hour and found him not guilty, falsifying the arrest record for Floyd Parrish. He was the man arrested after a traffic stop in March for carrying a weapon without a concealed weapons permit. Finch released Parrish from county jail because of his belief in the Second Amendment. Finch was then suspended without pay by Governor Rick Scott. The sheriff now plans to petition Scott to get his job back.
It looks like Florida may not be following in the cannabis trail of Colorado. Florida legislative leaders are opposing an amendment that will allow medical use of marijuana. House Speaker Will Weatherford and Senate President Don Gates are asking the Florida Supreme Court to reconsider the proposed amendment. So far, 200,000 out of 700,000 signatures have been gathered in order to add the amendment to the 2014 ballot. The search for Tallahassee top cop is gearing up. The city of Tallahassee will soon begin interviewing candidates for its chief of police position. The search committee is working on details and the candidates and this interview schedule. They've set a goal to start conducting the interviews within the next 2 weeks.
Rick Scott released an agenda for the upcoming legislative session that will reduce $500 million in state taxes and fees. He's also cutting $100 million in state spending. He plans to block borrowing money for new roads, land, or education facilities unless they create returns on the investment for taxpayers. However, he does not say where the $500 million in tax cuts will come from.
In Tallahassee, a man was arrested after officials traced him to a collection of graphic images and videos of sexual acts involving children. Deputies served Tariq Shabazz a search warrant Wednesday after downloaded digital videos and images containing child pornography led them to his residence. He was charged with 21 counts of obscene material.
In Gadsden County, a daycare owner is in serious trouble. Quincy police charged Willa Nelson with child neglect. They say she left a child in her facility to go to a doctor's appointment. According to QPD, Nelson said she called the parents at 1:25, instructing them to pick their daughter up before 2 p.m. The child was found inside the daycare after the mother called police.
Also in Florida politics, Governor Rick Scott's former opponent is now running for Congress. Democrat Alex Sink announced her candidacy for congressional seat 13 in Pinellas County. The seat's been vacant since Representative C.W. Bill Young passed on October 18th. A cab driver in South Florida may look a little bit familiar, especially if you're a fan of scary movies. The man who played Jason in the Friday the 13th Part 2 is driving a taxi in West Palm Beach. Aaron Guy has the story.
Imagine walking downtown West Palm Beach on Clematis Street and deciding you needed to ride home, so you walk up to a cab. Any chance you could take me home, sir?
Need a ride?
And this is what you find.
The passenger gets in. They notice the eye, and then...
Where you going?
Well, Steve Dash really isn't all that scary, but he's famous for being one of Hollywood's most notorious cult killers.
Jason, Mother is talking to you!
When I did it, it was a low-budget film, and I figured, who's ever going to watch this thing, Had I known then what I know now, 31 years later, I would have been the Jason in every one of them.
He got the role because the original Jason couldn't do his own stunts.
I went through a window, I got burned, I got cut, I got 13 stitches in this hand. I had a lot of, but we finished the film. I did it,
Now this retired New York police officer and movie star lives in sunny South Florida. He still acts but drives a cab on the side.
The funny thing is I don't really say anything to anybody till like the end of the ride.
And after he tells them, he says he meets a lot of fans.
It's very rewarding. It's very humbling, actually, to be honest with you.
So the next time you hail a cab, you never know who might be behind the wheel.
Get in the car. Wait till this guy finds out who I am.
Now, Dash says even though you didn't see his face in Friday the 13th Part 2, he says he's been in more than 42 films, so maybe you recognize him. In the meantime, he says he is going to be driving on Halloween, so good luck. In West Palm Beach, Erin Guy, WPBF 25 News.
Well, I know I won't be catching a cab in South Florida anytime soon.
That's right.
Yeah.
And now we'll take our first look at weather with David Brown. David, how's the weather?
Thank you, ladies. Happy Halloween, Tallahassee. We brought in today partly cloudy, but it remained mostly sunny during the day, with temperatures at a high of 82 degrees. Now, if you're anything like me, with your Halloween costume underneath your work clothes today, and are looking for some evening fun, keep in mind that tonight's temperatures will drop to a low of 69 degrees. There's a 10% chance of rain, so all you goblins, ghouls, princes, and princesses may need to carry an umbrella. That's your first look at weather. Back to you.
Thanks so much, David. If you see any news happening, email us at FAMUNewsNetwork@gmail.com or follow us on Twitter at FAMU News Network.
Coming up, there could be a new type of moving violation on the horizon: Google glassing and driving. One woman in California got a ticket, although it was turned off. Coming up.
Also, a fast and furious car chase caught on camera. That and more still to come. You're watching the news at 5.